When we were looking to move to Phoenix, we were driving around and found the historic area, and I loved the idea of living in a house that had its own story and had history. And when we walked into this house, it just felt warm and homey, I guess, and comfortable. And as we kept walking through the home, I felt more and more sure that this house was going to be a home for us. You know, I wanted to find something that wasn't just a house, but that felt like a home. And this was it. You know, I was sure of it. I mean, we were so sure that we put 2 offers, if you remember, you know, in order to get the house.
Yeah. And since you've moved in here, is there anything that, I mean, tell me what you love about the house that you've discovered.
Landscaping.
The front porch.
Want to sit down?
No, I'll sit down. I didn't want to. Okay.
That's okay.
The front porch is one of my favorite rooms, if it can be called a room. I never realized how much I was going to love sitting out on the front porch. I also love the warm color of all of the woodwork in the house. And people who walk in to this house, the first thing out of their mouth is always, it is just so warm and welcoming. Almost as if, you know, when a person walks in, the house is saying, you know, oh, please come in, you know, and sort of wrapping its arms around them.
Yeah. It's a lot of wood, and just that wood natural color is just nice, and a lot of windows, a lot of natural light that comes in. I'm trying to think all the characteristics of an old home, as far as the glass. It's even somewhat warped at the top, so you can definitely tell it's about 80 years old on the different panels. So people look through and they realize just how aged it is, and you know, I guess over time it just even gets better. So
it's like a fine patina.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
A fine patina.
Exactly. What else is there?
Yeah, it's comfortable. It has.
Yeah.
It doesn't have inconveniences that sometimes you see in old homes.
And I think one of the advantages of this one in particular, though, is the fact that the lot size is bigger than a standard. It's about 1.5 lots, so it ends up with a lot of room in the backyard, a lot of room in the front yard. So we didn't feel like we're pressed right up against the neighbors. And so there's that room, and then at the same time it sets the house so it looks small from the front, gives a lot more of a look as far as the landscape, and it catches your eye more of the trees and the plants and that. But when you come in, people start to say, my God, this thing is huge. You know, they walk back and it just keeps on going. So that's a big plus too.
Yeah, and we have not had to sacrifice modern day conveniences.
No, this thing's been upgraded.
And that was another thing that when we walked into the house, the kitchen, you know, all of the appliances, the Viking range, you know, the granite countertops, I was like, oh, you know, I can have a modern kitchen, but yet still feel like I am living in a house that, you know, has absorbed so many different, you know, years of age and history.
You want to talk a little bit about the landscape? You're a horticulturist?
Yes, yeah. And when we purchased the home, it didn't have any real landscaping. It was just grass and some nice, beautiful trees, which were here, some older trees, which do add a lot to the landscape. So in the front, one of the first things we wanted to do was add some curb appeal with the landscape. So we cut out a good portion of areas of the lawn to create flower beds where we could plant, you know, things that would be drought tolerant but yet have color at different times of the year. We also added flagstone walkways, which tie in really nicely to the brick exterior of the home. And then in the backyard, which was just done a year ago, we decided to put in a swimming pool and spa, as well as a large workshop shed, which can be used as a workshop or for storage. I mean, either of those things. And the backyard has been wonderful this past summer. It was a place that we didn't use much before because it was just lawn. And now we're able to entertain back there. It has huge patio space. It also has a nice grassy area if you've got kids or dogs. And then the swimming pool and spa has just added a lot to our hot summers. So we're really enjoying the backyard, and the curb appeal out in the front yard. It's just it just is really eye-catching now. When we redid the front landscape, all of the neighbors kept walking by and saying, my gosh, you're really, it's amazing what you've done to the look of this house and how it's changed, and it's just beautiful.